They laughed at him. They mocked him. And when the red wine spilled down his worn jacket, the entire restaurant burst into laughter. What they didn't know was that the nobody standing in front of them owned the building, owned the restaurant, and by the end of the night, every single life in that room would change forever. The man walked in quietly. No bodyguards. No designer suit. No flashy watch. Just a faded brown jacket, scuffed shoes, and the tired posture of someone the world had stepped on one too many times. To everyone inside the luxury restaurant, he looked out of place. The chandeliers glowed softly above polished marble floors. Crystal glasses clinked. Laughter floated in the air, the sound of wealth enjoying itself. And then there was him. A waiter whispered, "Who let this guy in?" A woman at the nearest table wrinkled her nose. "Is this place turning into a shelter now?" The man heard everything. He always did. But he said nothing. Because tonight wasn't about comfort. It was about truth. His name was Daniel Moretti. To the world he was a ghost, a billionaire CEO who avoided cameras, interviews, and headlines. To his employees he was just a name at the top of emails. What nobody knew was that Daniel had built his empire from nothing. Homeless at 19. Rejected. Hungry. He never forgot how people treated him when he had nothing. So when complaints started pouring in about rude staff, discrimination, and employees mistreating ordinary customers, Daniel decided not to fire anyone blindly. Instead, he chose to see it for himself. Daniel took a seat at a corner table. 10 minutes passed. No menu. 20 minutes. Still nothing. Waiters walked past him like he didn't exist. Finally, he raised his hand gently. "Excuse me?" A waiter stopped, irritated. "Can't you see we're busy?" He glanced at Daniel's clothes. "This isn't a cafe, you know." "I just wanted some water," Daniel said calmly. The waiter scoffed. "Water is for paying customers." The nearby tables laughed softly. Daniel nodded. "I understand." But inside him, a familiar ache returned. That's when it happened. A loud, careless waiter rushed past carrying a tray of expensive red wine. Someone bumped into him. The tray tilted, and splash. Red wine poured straight down Daniel's jacket, staining his shirt, dripping onto the floor. The restaurant went silent for 1 second. The laughter exploded. "Oh my God," someone shouted. "He looks like he planned it." Another voice mocked. "That jacket probably costs less than the wine." The waiter stared down at Daniel, annoyed, not apologetic. "Why didn't you move?" he snapped. "You people always cause problems." Daniel stood up slowly, wine dripping from his sleeves. Face calm, voice steady. "It was an accident," he said. That only made them laugh harder. The restaurant manager stormed over. "What's going on here?" The waiter pointed at Daniel. He caused a scene. The manager looked Daniel up and down, then said the words that sealed everyone's fate. "Sir, this is a high-class establishment. We don't tolerate people like you embarrassing our guests." "People like you." Daniel swallowed. "I can pay for the wine," he said quietly. That made the manager laugh. "With what?" He snapped his fingers. "Security. Get him out." The guards grabbed Daniel by the arms. That's when he spoke one final sentence. "Before you do that, could you call the owner?" The manager burst out laughing. "The owner doesn't take calls from nobodies." Just then, a phone rang. The manager froze. He checked the screen. His face went pale. "Why, sir?" he stammered. "Yes, right away." He looked up at Daniel again. Something felt wrong. Very wrong. The guards loosened their grip. Daniel slowly reached into his pocket and pulled out a simple black card. No logo. No name. Just one word engraved. Moretti. The manager's knees buckled. Daniel straightened his wine-stained jacket. "My name is Daniel Moretti," he said. "I founded this restaurant chain. This building. This company." Silence. Utter silence. Plates stopped mid-air. Glasses froze. The waiter who spilled the wine started shaking. The manager dropped to his knees. I didn't know," he cried. "I'm so sorry." Daniel looked around the room. At the laughter. The mocking faces. The people who said nothing. "I know," he replied. "That's the problem." Daniel turned to the staff. Every interaction tonight was recorded. Gasps filled the room. The waiter who refused water, terminated. The man collapsed. The manager who judged a man by his clothes, terminated. Security stepped forward. But Daniel paused. Everyone held their breath. He turned to a young waitress trembling in the corner. She was the only one who had quietly tried to bring him napkins earlier, before being yelled at. "You," he said gently. "Come here." She approached, terrified. "You showed kindness when it mattered," Daniel said. "Starting tomorrow, you're the new floor supervisor." Tears streamed down her face. Daniel looked at the guests one last time. "Money doesn't reveal character," he said. "It hides it." Then he picked up his jacket, still stained with wine. "I wore this on purpose," he added softly, "to see who you really were." He walked toward the door. No applause. No cheers. Just shame. As the doors closed behind him, the restaurant felt colder. Because everyone there realized the truth too late. They didn't insult a poor man. They exposed themselves. So the next time you meet someone who looks like a nobody, remember this story. Because respect costs nothing. And you never know who's watching when you choose kindness. If this story moved you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. More powerful stories coming your way.